It's Madden NFL 23, and all eyes are on Jared Goff. After his last game, now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Lions and the Vikings, next on EA Sports.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they've been... 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Detroit gets set to go on offense, and it will be the 7th-year pro out of Cal, Jared Goff, leading the attack in his second season as a Lion.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
And Goff going to look to throw right away. And his first look is incomplete. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Goff now looks to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the lock, screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass-rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Goff. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups there.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off, and they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. First down, here's the run with Cook. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now, this defense for the Lions, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. The bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
The Vikings hit 10-2 on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson.
17 yards, first down, Vikings.
That's a great example right there to remind everyone of what a weapon he can be as a mobile quarterback, Charles. Nice play to escape the pocket and get his offense into the red zone with a first down.
And defensive coaches losing their mind on that play.
Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year.
And the Vikings use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
Joseph connects on the extra point.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Goff a handoff here to Swift.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Yeah, we saw that from up here, CD. A tug on the face mask, and the flag comes out.
And we saw that last week they had some defensive miscues like that, and they told us that they had worked hard on it in practice and thought they had it all cleaned up, but obviously the message hasn't really sunk in.
They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted.
There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Follow up a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
Joseph on for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
They'll fake the handoff. Now gone. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man.
A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Seizi Atomewo in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. On fourth down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. KJ Osborne deep for Minnesota.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs. So a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blood veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 13 carries, 70 yards.
They're coming off of back-to-back wins, and I think a lot of credit belongs to this guy right here because, to me, he's not only carried his weight, he's carried a few other guys along as well. He's helped draw defensive attention away from not just him, but open things up for his teammates, too. So if this winning streak is going to continue to have some legs to it, he has to remain effective and put together another nice game.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Cook.
He was brought down by big Levi Onwuzurike.
This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Aiden Hutchinson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And that CD, another sack for the young rookie linebacker. Well, getting after the quarterback certainly has not been much of a problem here in his rookie season.
It certainly hasn't, Brandon. And the instincts that have made him a great tackler, I think coupled along with some film study and some great anticipation, that's also made him a great pass rusher as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Lions are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Once again, it's Swift. And this will wind up a Lions first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
They'll try the air now with Goff. Got his man. It's Williams. And they're going to get this up to midfield. On 2nd down, Swift. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But I believe the Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Goff now to throw. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Back to the running game with Swift. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Now Goff. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he's got a first down following a pickup of about 13 as we will take a pause here for the 2-minute warning. That one goes for 13 yards and it moves the sticks. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Goff. It's Williams on the catch. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes that are going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 3rd down throw, but it misses the target in field goal. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. The kick by Parkey is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
As we roll on here in the month of December, Week 14, coming up tonight, we got a good one in the AFC West. Get the Parkas out, Kansas City and Denver from the frigid Empower Stadium at Mile High. And then tomorrow night, you can turn those Parkas in for some shorts, golf polos, and flip-flops. Monday Night Football in Arizona. Patriots, Cardinals, 8:15 Eastern. And Cook has it, left side. Brings it just past the 15, able to avoid the initial contact, but not much more there on the play. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Wilson, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Cody Parkey is on now for the he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. On second down, Cousins again. That's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. And this will be caught at the 30. And they'll work this down inside the 30. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Again, it's Cousins. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Dalvin Cook now catches on back-to-back plays. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 44 yards away. Joseph's got it, and that will do it for this first half. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Bills who have the lead in that one. Gabriel Davis, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head down to the Meadowlands to check on the Giants at home in MetLife Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Daniel Jones throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And that one all even as they play the visiting Texans. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Vikings. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from their passing game. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there. Final adjustments being made in both locker rooms. They are just about set to get back to football in Detroit. And for the call of the second half, we'll kick it back up to Ford Field and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
On second down, Cook. Before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they're leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
11 more on that one, and another first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
Here's Cook again.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll try to throw now. Cousins.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying it up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working out of the gun, Cousins.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Swift going to try up the middle.
And yet again, he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well.
Oh, the return is Osborne.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Vikings will be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. A first down throw for Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And the Lions will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. Meanwhile, Goff's throw taken in by Hockenson here. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Gone. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up a lot. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. So the problem's really starting to add up now. I mean, they try the field goal in an effort to get a little bit closer, but the block and return make the situation worse.
I like what you just said there. Just trying to get a little bit closer. I think mentally, that's why they were doing it, because really the 3 wasn't going to do them a whole lot of good, but they feel better about themselves now. They feel exponentially worse.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14.
Vikings 24, Lions 10. Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit. Now it's gone. Throw over the middle, he finds Williams. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Goff and Williams hooking up there for a Lions first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. They'll get this to about the 38. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. From the 38, Goff got a man over the middle. It's Williams. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Goff now looking to throw. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he is going to have a Lions first down, and comfortably so as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more.
And yet again, Goff is intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
They start the drive with Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Play action now, Cousins.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
It's caught at the 10. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 43 yards. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Cook up the gun. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Oh, now an injured player down there, and this is not what you want to see. That's Justin Jefferson, who's having some issues. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 2nd down, they go right back to Cook.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. On 3rd down, Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. Touchdown!
Dalvin Cook
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Vikings are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points. 5 plays there on that drive.
And the final act of the drive was the touchdown catch by Dalvin Cook. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
On 1st and 10, Goff. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's Goff.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Throwing again is gone. He's got this complete to Williams. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
Now a first down throw. Gone. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Here's a handoff to Swift.
And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Desperation time for football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
Man, when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 59 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. And we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, it's Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll try the middle with Cook.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now Cousins.
He'll get that to Amir Smith-Marset. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
He'll find Thielen work in the middle.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and 11. At the Lions.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Vikings, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Detroit, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the new